Thanks for joining us. I'm Megan Roberts. Changes are coming to a major northern airline. The Airline Pilots Association, or ALPA, says Canadian North has laid off 15 of its Boeing 737 pilots. It says the changes are due to a decrease in services following the transfer of the Montreal-Kuujjuaq route to Air Inuit and the winding down of the LNG Phase 1 project. A spokesperson for Canadian North says the company is making changes to build a sustainable future and no Inuit or Northern employees will be impacted. Canadian North pilots are currently negotiating their 7th collective agreement. A representative of the airline says pilots were notified Wednesday night and the changes won't affect passengers.
We've been having positive discussions with the company. They do recognize that they need to pay attention to the pilots to help with pilot migration to other airlines, but we are definitely focused on that, and that is our number one goal, and we are not siding away from that.
Bard says the specialized skill set needed for Arctic flying will be hard to replace. And ALPA International is working to ensure pilots affected by the layoffs have help finding another position. The announcement comes after Canadian North's sale to Winnipeg-based Exchange Income Corporation in July. We have some breaking news out of the Yukon this hour. RCMP and the Yukon Coroner's Service are investigating a sudden death in Whitehorse at Shipyards Park. There are no details about the death at this point. The parking lot and the riverfront trail in the area are closed to the public while police continue their investigation. Aurora College in the Northwest Territories is delaying admissions for its early learning and childcare programs. The college president blames this on a lack of funding. Luke Carroll explains.
Admissions for Aurora College's early learning and childcare program are being delayed. The college is expected to take applications for the program at some point in 2026, but that's as specific as the president of Aurora College can be. In an email, college president Angela James says it's because money that funded it as a pilot program has run out. For its part, the Department of Education, Culture and Employment says it provides base funding to Aurora College and that it's up to the college how it spends it to support programs. The department also says the college gets other funding from the territory and the federal government for early learning and childcare programs. But James says it's still not enough money to sustain the program long term. They need $600,000 every year to run the program. There are 60 students now enrolled. James says they will be supported to complete the program with, quote, as few impacts as possible. I've requested an interview with James in person for more details on the subject, but she said she was not available. Luke Carroll, CBC News, Yellowknife.
The NWT Early Childhood Association says this decision shows Aurora College is not prioritizing early learning and childcare. It sent CBC a statement earlier today. It says it's concerned about how the delay in admissions could impact women and families across the Northwest Territories who rely on childcare. A tenant in Whitehorse has been evicted through the Safer Communities and Neighborhoods legislation, or SCAN. A civil liberties expert says anyone accused of illegal activity should be able to have their say in court. Katrin Pilkington reports.
Tipsters told the government Reginald Clements was selling drugs from his unit in this low-income seniors' residence downtown. He denies it and says more evidence should be required before the government moves to evict people.
It's a good thing that they're investigating or looking for things, but they should have no right whatsoever in evicting people from their homes. The RCMP doesn't even evict people from their homes. I can't believe that the Justice Department has given them so much power.
The Yukon Housing Corporation did not return a request for comment from CBC, nor did the RCMP. SCAN legislation was first introduced in the Yukon in 2006 and has since been the subject of a charter lawsuit and a systemic review. Similar legislation is currently being developed in the NWT, but a civil liberties expert says SCAN laws set a concerning precedent for personal freedoms.
So what SCAN legislation does is it sidesteps like criminal legal processes to target spaces where police suspect that there is, some type of illegal activity happening, and engaging in, so rather than engaging in criminal law processes, which have more legal protections and provisions to safeguard some of those constitutional rights, this is an alternative system that is being used. And so with that, there's significant civil liberties implications of scan legislation.
Several residents told CBC they did contact police and were told it was a housing issue. Katrin Pilkington, CBC News, Whitehorse.
You heard Katrin there say that similar legislation is currently being developed in the Northwest Territories. Right now, the GNWT is gathering feedback on that legislation. There's an online survey, and it's hosting meetings in person and virtually until the end of November. The feedback will then be presented in a What We Heard report. The application period for the NWT nominee program opens November 10th. The NWT aims to process 103 applications and quickly. To do that, the Territory is changing some guidelines, including removing the limit on the number of applications a single employer can submit. The NWT is able to accept its normal number of 300 nominees a year. This came after significant lobbying by the business community and the territorial government.
So generally, it was very positive. We look at key employers in town. Explorer Hotel, who relies heavily on immigration processes to be able to find staff who have worked in the industry that are capable and competent to be able to fulfill their component part of the tourism industry, which is an important sector of our economy.
Henry says, although this is positive news, the program as a whole falls short. That's because a person needs to be in the country to be nominated. Henry says businesses should be able to recruit highly skilled workers from overseas to come work in the NWT. In the Yukon, the federal government expanded the nominee program by 67 spots for 2025 after reducing it by half earlier. Yellowknife and Inuvik in the Northwest Territories have signed an agreement to lobby the federal government together for more military investment in the north. The two communities spoke today about their common interests. Both have military sites for the Canadian Armed Forces, and both argue that the Liberal government needs to make good on Arctic infrastructure investments proposed in this week's budget.
When we speak together as communities with experience, expertise, and an understanding of what's at stake, our voices are stronger with the partners that we'll work with. We want to show what Northern leadership isn't just symbolic, but it's real. For Yellowknife, this MOU is a chance to strengthen our role as a capital city as well. It's a reminder that when we work together with other communities across the NWT, we're always stronger together.
The Liberal budget is proposing $1 billion for major transportation projects in the north. This includes investing in airports, seaports, all-season roads, and highways, all for both civilian and military use. It's unclear at this point what the next step will be for the Yellowknife-Inuvik partnership. An economic development agency in Nunavut is starting a new partnership around Arctic security. The Kikatalik Corporation has created a company called Sapujayit with Ottawa-based venture capital firm 19. The CEO of the Kikatalik Corporation says one of the goals of the partnership is to create opportunities in the north. He says some of those opportunities would include testing technology like drones and unmanned submarines.
Well, as you heard, as we are all aware, in the past couple of years since the war in Europe, we heard a lot about Arctic sovereignty, security, and there has been discussions on that. NORAD modernizations.
Flaherty says he hopes future Arctic security funding will benefit Inuit. Iceland has established a permanent diplomatic presence in Nunavut. The Icelandic embassy in Canada has announced its first honorary consul in the territory. TJ Deere has more.
Iqaluit's Sean Lester has been chosen as Iceland's first ever honorary consul in Nunavut. He's an accountant with a major Canadian business advisory firm, and he's been living in Iqaluit for 25 years. Lester says his new role is about creating and maintaining connections across northern regions.
When Iceland wants to connect with Nunavut and Canada, about anything in the Arctic, it's nice to be at the table up front. And when Nunavut wants to connect with Iceland and or Greenland, we start making those connections, and it's nice to be able to be at the table.
Lester says Iceland's embassy has consuls across Canada for similar purposes, but this one is rooted in northern priorities.
To me, it's one of the big shifts is instead of hearing about things after the fact or being told from the south, it will now be an Arctic discussion.
Lester's appointment provides a chance to strengthen a relationship that's already a good one. Hlynur Guðjónsson is Iceland's ambassador to Canada. With Canada in the middle of a trade war with the U.S., he says it gives Canada a chance to strengthen not only trade between the two countries, but other areas as well.
There are a lot of similarities between our communities where we can actually help each other out on some of the problems that we or challenges we have in our communities.
Lester's new position is unpaid, and it's for an indeterminate amount of time. Guðjónsson says the two countries are working towards additional opportunities to collaborate as more attention is focused on the north. TJ Deer, CBC News, Iqaluit.
Nunavut's power utility says power has been restored to the community of Resolute Bay. An outage caused the hamlet to declare a local state of emergency on Wednesday. The Kudlik Energy Corporation says strong winds and heavy snow caused power outages in parts of the community on Tuesday. A charter from Iqaluit with additional crews landed in Resolute Bay today. The hamlet's CAO says residents were seeking shelter in local hotels, the health center, and a local school. The hamlet says the outage had a significant impact on the community and people struggled to heat their homes. The Arctic Winter Games International Committee has reaffirmed the suspension of Team Yamal from next year's games. The team is from Russia. Team Yamal was initially suspended on March 1st, 2022. At the time, the Games Committee cited the Russian invasion of Ukraine as the reason for the suspension. The committee says it's developing a review mechanism to guide future decisions about Team Yamal's participation. Whitehorse is hosting the Arctic Winter Games next year. They'll run from March 8th to 15th. Yukon's chief electoral officer has officially confirmed the results of this week's territorial election. Only one riding is going to a recount, Vantat-Quitchen. Currently, it's the only Liberal seat in the legislature. Liberal candidate Deborah Lee Reddy won there by just 7 votes, narrowly defeating NDP incumbent Annie Blake. Recounts are automatically triggered in any ridings won by less than 10 votes. The recount for Vantat-Quitchen will likely happen early next week. This is the 3rd election in a row where Vantat-Quitchen has needed a recount. And the Nunavut territorial election was almost a week and a half ago, but some residents of Iqaluit will be heading back to the polls. A judicial recount of the riding of Agu has 2 candidates tied. I do believe we have the wrong visuals here, so let's just start that again. A judicial recount of the riding of Agu has 2 candidates tied. The Nunavut Elections Act states that a new election must be held if this happens. Incumbent candidate Joanna Kwasa is hoping to keep her seat against Erasmus Ivalu. Elections Nunavut's chief electoral officer told CBC other recounts for Pangnaktu and Kutiktuk will be complete by Friday. No word yet on when Iqaluit residents will vote again. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency is at a farm in BC preparing to kill more than 300 ostriches at the center of a months-long legal battle. The Supreme Court of Canada said it would not hear an appeal that might have stopped the cull. Authorities say it's necessary to stop the spread of bird flu, which killed 69 ostriches in the flock last year. But the farm's owners and their supporters say the flock now appears healthy, and they're demanding a reprieve. The CBC's Caroline Bargout is on the scene.
There are about 75 or 80 supporters here at Universal Ostrich Farms. A little while ago, they came here to the road. As you can see, there are dozens of cars lined across the road. They're playing music, they're praying, they are supporting the farmers here. in hopes that the CFIA, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, will decide not to cull the ostriches. But it appears that cull may be happening. A little while ago, we saw CFIA agents dressed in hazmat suits in these pens where there is about 300 ostriches gathered. They were trying to corral them. It looked like with orange fencing, trying to move them to one area. Now, the CFIA said today that the cull will move forward. They have not given any indication of when that will happen or how it will happen. But based on the supporters here and what we are seeing on the ground, it appears that this cull may be taking place right now. We spoke to Katie Pasitny. She is the daughter of one of the owners of this farm. Earlier today, when she heard the news that the Supreme Court would not be taking on this case, she was obviously very upset. Here's what she had to say.
Our family's going to lose everything today, and in 41 minutes they made that decision. In 41 minutes, 11 months ago, they've had 11 months to do the right thing. In 11 months, 41 minutes with a pen, they signed away over 300 lives.
The CFIA has a stamping out policy. That means if one bird in a flock of 100, say even 1,000 has avian flu, the policy is to cull the rest of that flock. The purpose is to stamp out or stop the spread of avian flu. In recent years here in British Columbia, 8.8 million birds have died or have been killed, or culled, I should say, because they had avian flu. And the CFIA is hoping to prevent that. Caroline Bargout, CBC News, near Edgewood.
Choose to lead or be led to ruin. That's the warning from the UN Secretary General. He made those remarks at a meeting of world leaders ahead of next week's COP30 climate conference. Susan Ormiston has a preview from the conference venue in Brazil.
After 30 years of climate conferences, a lot of people are wondering what is the point of these negotiations. So the leaders here are focused on that, more on direct action, less on big pledges or negotiations, and the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres referenced that this morning.
And the hard truth is that we have failed to ensure we remain below 1.5 degrees. Every fraction of a degree means more hunger, displacement, and loss, especially for those least responsible.
That's not to say there hasn't been progress. Guterres reminding his audience that the economies have shifted. The energy transition has begun and it is moving fast. That in 2024, $2 trillion was invested in clean energy, 800 billion more than in fossil fuels. That's progress, he says, but acknowledges there are still pinch points.
Fossil fuels still command vast subsidies, taxpayers' money. Too many corporations are making record profits from climate devastation, with billions spent on lobbying, deceiving the public, and obstructing progress.
Nearly 60 heads of state are coming to this conference. That's just a third of the leaders who came to the climate conference 2 years ago in Dubai. But this is one of the most challenging geopolitical landscapes in a long time, with very difficult economies, with climate skeptic in the White House. The U.S. is not sending an official delegation for the first time. I think the message here is that the conference more than ever has to prove that there's value in multilateral negotiations and that they will send messages back to their home countries of direct action. Enough pledges, enough hard negotiations on some areas, and now it's time to put all these ambitions into practice. Susan Ormiston, CBC News in Belém, Brazil.
School food programs received a significant boost in the federal budget, but advocates say that funding has a lot of ground to make up. The CBC's Deanna Sumanak-Johnson looks at what's in the budget and at what food programs are offering right now.
For these kids, the federal budget includes a promise to increase funding for school food programs and make it permanent starting in 2029.
Budget 2025 really confirmed a historical commitment
The current federal funding program started in 2024, allocating $1 billion over 5 years to programs across Canada, many run by local charities. But depending on where you live, that money may not have come through.
So to be honest, we are still waiting to get our funding, portion being increased. This community is underserved, low-income families, newcomer families. A lot of the schools, do reach out to us, want to start an after-school or breakfast club program.
Experts say how the money gets doled out varies on the size of the province, the number of school boards, and also how much money the province adds to the mix. In provinces like Newfoundland, the federal bucks have been a real boon. Before Ottawa's program, they could reach 20,000 students. Now,
as the program continues to roll out, we anticipate reaching approximately half of the 63,000 students in this current school year.
the types of meals schools serve also vary. In some places, it's a hot lunch. In others, fruit and yogurt snacks.
So I would encourage, increase investment across all levels of government so that kids can more equally access school meal programs and eventually get to that robust lunch program.
She would also like to see the annual federal investment almost double to reach each and every child in Canada. As of now, the federal government is investing over $1 million in grants to study how school food programs actually work and where they fall short. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
The Canadian version of a unique interview series is marking its debut on CBC television. Some Canadian celebrities will be interviewed by people on the autism spectrum. It's called The Assembly, and Makta Gebrselassie looks at what drives it.
Welcome to The Assembly.
It's the show that promises no question is off limits. In the hot seat, Canadian celebrities like musician Jan Arden, comedian Howie Mandel, and actor Maitrey Ramakrishnan. On the mic, interviewers who are on the autism spectrum.
Do you love yourself?
What led you to have an affair?
Oh! What is your biggest insecurity?
For Margot Wask, the show is groundbreaking.
I want to ensure that when autism is spoken about or represented in media, that we're consulted with. I think this show really sets the precedent of what that can look like.
But at first, Wask was hesitant about taking part. It had to do with autistic representation on other shows, like the dating series Love on the Spectrum.
It can be very infantilizing.
That show, a success for Netflix, has received mixed reviews, much like The Assembly's many versions around the world.
I do feel in its presentation it can be a little tokenized in terms of we have no filter.
Sarah Kerchek is a culture writer who is autistic. She's written about representation on fictional shows like The Good Doctor and programs featuring real people too. While she's happy autistic and neurodivergent people are being centered, she worries about how some audiences will react.
You see the viral clips that are passed around are always like, oh, it's so sweet, it's so heartwarming. But there is more to our experience than that.
Expanding the audience's understanding is a goal for the show too.
Because it's a great show and a great interview, not a great interview by autistic and neurodivergent folks, but just simply a great interview.
Wask is pleased with her experience and is keeping in mind reactions to the other shows.
You're never going to be able to please 100% of people with your approach.
But she says you can do your best. Makta Gebrselassie, CBC News, Toronto.
A program to help elders in Inuvik NWT wants more people using the service. The Inuvik Community Corporation helps elders with snow shoveling, errands, or even just socializing. The CBC's Des Loreen joined the team to learn more about what they do and the difference they're making.
Okay, right on. Thank you.
Alrighty, I'll be there in about 10 minutes.
Alrighty.
Okay, bye-bye.
The Inuvik Community Corporation is helping Inuvik's elderly with day-to-day help. Their elder support team offers services to people over 55 years of age in Inuvik. The support is accessible to anyone regardless of background or ethnicity.
This is awesome. I mean, to have it open to anybody, not just see and evaluate. It's just the greatest thing that I can't praise these two enough.
Shoveling, snow, and other yard work are just some of the services offered. Getting groceries, going for drives, or even just socializing are other ways that the team helps.
If you or you know of an elder who needs like some company or just think they could use a home visit, give us a call and we'll schedule them in, and I'll bring my beadwork over and we'll sit together for a little while and have some tea.
To sign up for the service, you can contact the Community Corp office. Des Loreen, CBC News, Inuvik.
About 400 Inuvialuit elders are on the corporation's list, but the team figures only about half of them have used the service. Now let's take a look at your weather. And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. Thank you for watching. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a good night.